What is the difference between a personal brand and an influencer? And how can you use influencers' world to build your brand, your personal brand? Okay, so let me start by saying I know this pretty well because I am now been a personal brand for like this section of time. And then for the past, I don't know, it was like 7 years I was an influencer. Okay, so just getting to the point, what is the biggest difference? An influencer is somebody who works for other companies, such as if you are a 3D printing artist and you love art and you're saying, hey, I got this new Bamboo Labs printer, the P2S, get your 30% off code here. Look how awesome this is. I do this. And anything within the art, oh, here's some pens I use. Check them out, blah, blah, blah. They're pretty great. This is this about it, and that's special. Here's my perspective. That's a lot of times the influencing of you to buy. Then there is the personal brand, same character, 3D artist, saying, hey, yeah, I use Bamboo Labs. This is the printer. It's an affiliate if you want, but I just came out with a new filament. I have my own product. I have my own personal stuff. I have my t-shirts. I have, this stuff I've actually 3D printed that's really amazing and it's really helpful for other 3D printing artists as well. That is the personal brand. See, the difference is one works for other people and one works for themselves. And that's why personal branding is so much better. But it's harder to decide and what is that going to be for you? Are you a 3D printing artist? Are you a heavy set fashion lingerie model? What is it that you're going to do? And this is the biggest struggle that I faced when I was trying to do an influencer at first, because I was like, don't pin me down. I'm so many more things, and what should I sell? And I'd ask myself, I'd be like, okay, cool, yeah, I'll do men's clothing stuff, and that's cool, but I don't like fashion. I think fashion's dumb. But also give me free stuff and somebody buy it. But also I'm an artist. So that kind of mental framework doesn't help you make any money. And I fought with that for years. And this is the influencer thing that you typically see. And if you look at my stuff now, that's kind of what it looks like, because I'm refinding my way. And it does take a lot of thought, unless you're really good at just thinking off the cuff, is you have to decide on this identity, something that's identifiable as a influencer or a personal brand. So it will actually limit you in many ways, and it will probably get to you so it's just difficult. Because let's say you're that heavy set lingerie model. You have to be I am the heavy set fashion model. That's the end of story. That's all you are. You're gonna feel like there's nothing else to you. It's almost gonna be is this girl have anything else going on in her life? Is she just that obsessed? It's not even obsessed. It's just how unremarkable is this woman? All she does is talk about being out of ideal shape and lingerie and thinking she's all sexy. How arrogant is she? All of that stuff. And that comes up when you have a singular identity, right? And it's so tough. It is so hard to lock down something identifiable that at a glance every single person kind of gets the idea. This was the biggest struggle for me, and I still struggle with it. And as I find my way currently in this rebuilding of my world, I'm changing over. I'm changing over from a creator to an artist and a coach, as so to speak. But I'm refining it, and it's hard because I really want to do many, many things. However, I just feel like there's so much more to me that I want to do and talk about and so on. That's why I have 4 different YouTube channels. And that's how you separate, by the way, what to do when you have multiple interests and you're trying to have a personal brand. You have different avenues. That's what I suggest for people. That's what I see people do that makes sense. I look at it as, if you were to sell the company, how could you sell it and make it make sense? Because if you're doing all of it from, say for me, EDC, men's life, minimalism, branding, and lifestyle, then nobody's going to buy that company. But somebody might buy my EDC company. Somebody might buy my minimalism company. But more on that in another video. So why do we want to be identifiable? This is a really important question, because when we think of your brand, we need to think about it from a business standpoint, really, in the end. And this type of thinking, when we think about it that way, you have to look at it like you're an agent. Like when I was doing influencing, I had agents and people, managers and stuff looking out for me and trying to get me deals and saying, okay, he will take on this for this amount of money. He will advertise it here. He will give you the photos here. What are the rights for this? What's the usage on the content? Is it going to make them money? Is it exclusive? All of these things. There's a lot going on when we think of, like, for the professional means of being an influencer, right? So an influencer almost gets to delegate that. But when you're a brand, you have to think from that place. You have to think, where is this going to? Who's it going to? What is the budget? What's the ordinary thing? What are the competition? What are the other influencers, other content going? What's identifiable? What's ordinary? Because a plus size lingerie company is going to do significantly better than just a brand new lingerie company, right? It has to have some edge. You can look at Fenty from Rihanna. Like, she had her superstar sponsorship. She's the influencer for Fenty, and then she hires more risque, like edgy stuff. I think it's kind of tamed down now, but you have to look at it from the business side, and that kind of molds with the content and the brand and the things that are done as far as content-wise, right? So this idea of thinking, hey, what's the difference? How do I make my personal brand stronger? How do I make influencing actually work? You have to step out from this perspective of, I create this, I am this, and so on, into a relationship that's like a tug of war, that both things are happening between, hey, I want to create this, and the world of business, like an agent would help me find this company. And if you're not even close to understanding who you're going to work with as an influencer, you're never going to get work. Very unlikely. But if your, say, brand is, hey, let me think of something. I have a school and it helps people with magical insights in the world, right? Well, let's say you're a magical insights holistic healer online and you're an influencer. Who do you want to work for? What companies would actually hire you as this? And this is your first big, huge indicator of what your target market is and your competition. And you look and you go, okay, the people I want to work with are the models of what's doing it's right, what's out there, what people pay for. And it's like, whoa, okay, I'm getting a better, clearer picture now. And then you can look at that and say, okay, how can I differentiate from this? How can I live in the same world? What kind of influencers would I hire if I'm going like, oh, I have magic tarot card. Like, there's a magic tarot card company that would really want to hire me. So what would I hire if, like, what kind of influencers would use magic tarot cards? You're like, this person, this like gothic girl, and she's cool, she would make good content. Bam, you just got your content strategy. Massive insight onto what it might look like when you're thinking of, like, the brand, the personal brand, the magic of everything, right? Can you see how easy it is to just all of a sudden, boom, see everything? Because you're looking at it from that relationship of both the influencer and the business. And that's the big difference between a successful influencer and an unsuccessful influencer. Now, just a lot of this influencer stuff can be switched over to personal brand, like I said in the beginning. The difference is one works for somebody else and one creates their own thing, right? So your brand is the one who makes the tarot cards. Who's your influencer you want? That's how to be the influencer. You become that person, right? Or if you're the brand, you go, this is the kind of content I need. I need to look for this kind of person. So I hope this really helps you. This is something I wish I knew, but I've been thinking a lot about it lately because I'm going to be bringing back some influencer part of my own life. I want to start being paid to talk about other people's stuff because there's a lot of time more benefits. You get free travel a lot of times, and careful, never try to step up the travel too much. Like, don't ask for first class, like, don't be arrogant. But they will help you travel, they will put you up in rooms, or even maybe a discount on those rooms depending on your size. You'll get the free stuff. I like to get the free stuff before so I can actually vouch for it and say, yeah, this is good for me. But overall, I just think it's going to be a really nice bonus on my Instagram, my personal Instagram, to reignite the influencer for me. And it gave me a lot of insight in how the world works and what I'm interested in. And now with this knowledge of branding and being my own brand, having my own business and coaching service and all of this now at this point, after 15 years of working online, this is a new reformulated thing. So pay attention to what I'm doing if I do end up doing it. But yeah, let me know what you think. If you have any other struggles on your personal brand and influencing, comment below. I'd love to have a talk with you. I'll reply in the comments and maybe make its own video on it. All right, peace.